It's a stormy day and the dogs disagree with things. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. It is October, which means it is spooky month. I love October, I love autumn or fall if you're in America. So I thought it would be a great time to discuss my top 9 favorite horror tropes. Yes, it should be the top 10, but I didn't do 10, I did 9, okay? So we're going to discuss my top 9 favorite horror tropes. If you are writing a horror story and you want me to like the tropes that you're using, please be the ones I like. Likewise, if we're going to watch a horror movie together, these ones I can do. So let's dive right in. Number 1, Last Girl Survives. This is the idea that it is a female character who survives, and I do actually like this. Though we do really need to get over the idea that the last female survivor needs to be a virgin. They don't need to be. I could do without the girl always being the virgin. But girls surviving pretty. I mean, I'm a girl. I'd like to think I'd survive. I wouldn't know. Yeah, I'd be dead. But I like to pretend that I could be the last female survivor in my head. Number 2, does everything right. By this, I mean the idea that your protagonists do everything that is sensible. They turn on the lights, they lock the doors and close the windows, they phone the police, they go to the nearest town, they go to a public area full of people, they have dogs and they keep them with them, or they keep a cat with them. They do everything that a sensible person would do. They see the signs for danger and safety, they choose safety, and yet it doesn't work. I love this because it makes it actually scary. There's nothing less scary than watching a horror movie where the people just choose death every time. Because you watch it and go, well, I wouldn't do that. I would go the other way, you know? Sensibleness. So if your character does everything right, and I have read one book that did this and it was amazing. I believe it was called The Heart-Shaped Box or something like that. It was about a musician and he was being haunted and he kept his dogs with him. He changed house, he moved away, he did everything right, and yet this thing came with him. It followed, and that was actually really good horror. Number 3, now I know a lot of people can't be yelling at me for this one. Run and fall. You know what I mean. Characters running, they trip and fall. Either your protagonist is going to leave them to die or they're going to go back for them. I don't care which way round that goes. It's a cliche technically. It's in everything. It's in action movies, drama movies, always tripping and falling. But I like it because if you actually think about it in a high stress situation, you are actually quite likely to trip and fall. Because, you know, your brain's in a bit of a frenzy, your muscles and adrenaline are just pumping. It's easy to miss something and do a boo-boo. It just happens to be that in a horror movie or an action movie, that might be fatal. So, and it also creates a really good thing for your protagonist. Your protagonist isn't the one who falls and then they've got to decide if they're going to help this person or not. That can be really good character development in there. Number 4, the hero is the killer. It's a twisty trope and I like it. I know it's been done, but I enjoy it because if it's done well, you cannot see it coming. Yes, if it's done badly, you know, like anything, if you do a trope badly, it's going to be a cliche. It's just going to be. But if you do this one well, it can be really good, especially if you can't guess that it's them. And then at the end, you're like, oh, yeah. And it's just refreshing. It links to the idea of grey characters over the traditional good and bad. If you want to see more on how to write grey characters or ambiguous characters, the link is above me now, and below to those videos I did a whole series on writing characters of different types. But the grey character or morally ambiguous character is the in character right now. The goody two shoes and the evil one are out. So the idea of the hero being the killer fits really well into the top character types right now. Number 5, drop in the weapon or keys. This links into the run and fall trope. In a hectic, high adrenaline situation, your hands are probably going to be shaking. You're not going to be steady-handed, generally. So the idea of unlocking a door could actually be quite hard. Or picking up the keys. It's likely you could just drop those. I actually do enjoy this trope because it is realistic. You could see it happening because most people, honestly, it would happen to you. Number 6, bullied gets revenge. This is the idea that your killer was someone who was bullied, who was mistreated, and they getting their revenge on those people now. Again, this plays on the idea of grey or morally ambiguous characters. So they could be a really good person, but these people that they've decided to traumatize really hurt them, and they haven't learned from their mistakes, so they're going to make them learn from those mistakes. It's evil and it's nasty, but you can kind of see why they're doing it. Number 7, found footage. This is where your characters find a camcorder, they find a mobile phone with videos on it or pictures, they find a letter or a diary. It's like little clues and hints of what has happened here. And I adore these. It kind of makes the horror almost like a murder mystery in a way. You've got to solve what happened here before to try to escape and survive what's happening now. And it's just a really good plot device to move the plot forward. It's a great way to show your characters learning something rather than just being told it by like a local farmer or something, you know, telling them a legend. It can be really refreshing this way, so I really enjoy this one. Number 8, dark arcs. I talk about this again in my character videos. This is the idea where if you're writing well, all your characters should have a character arc. Nobody stays the same in life. We all develop and grow, but it's not always in a positive way. Sometimes you can go bad and you can have a bad character arc or a dark arc. So instead of your character starting evil and becoming good, you can have a perfectly good character and they deteriorate. You can see this in the real world. Depending on what happens to you, even if you just have a blip, you can go through a stage of bad behavior or thinking something wrong. It happens to people. So it's very believable and it gives your killer or your tormentor a reason for doing what they're doing, and it's just fantastic. And finally, number 9, abandoned buildings. I love abandoned buildings. I love history and architecture, and if I see a building which, you know, is closed off but like has an open door, I want to go in there. I don't know what it is about abandoned buildings or abandoned places, but I'm drawn in. I want to go and have a look. And that's what I like in the horror, because you know that's a bad idea. You know when I was talking about the danger and survival thing? Like, you know, in a horror movie, you do not go to the abandoned village. You don't go there. But it's something I might actually do. I just want to see what's in there. I can't help it. But that's why I like this trope, because it's believable. And I want to go see the building just as much as those characters want to see that building. And that's it for my top 9 favorite horror tropes. Please comment down below what your favorite tropes are. I'd love to hear them and see, you know, what I've missed out. Or if you don't like the tropes I like, let me know. Everyone has their own tropes that they like and their own cliches they really don't. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you like to see as soon as I upload, click that little bell down below. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Tumblr. I post general bookish pictures as well as my writing tips and unboxings on there. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye!